Hello everyone, and welcome back to Season 1 of my Let's Play series. You have joined episode 21. Today I wanted to work on getting this system automated. I want to be able to automatically drop some red coal onto these guys, and I don't want to have to worry about it being wasted. I did, between episodes, I was able to finish reconfiguring our watermill system over here. I've got, I think it's 4 or 5 stacks of those little diamond-shaped designs I like to have for my GP production. And we are now generating quite a fair amount of GP, and I think I've gotten this up to where it's giving me a 657% bonus. Which is going to be a fairly decent number to work with. So basically what we're going to want to do is I've crafted this open crate from Britannia, since that's what we're using, and that just needed some of these, where are they, living wood planks. You take the living wood planks and a crafting table. It's kind of like doing the pants for the armor, and that'll get you your open crate. And what we're going to want to do underneath of this open crate, I'm going to want my pressure plate, and I'm going to want this redstone conduit right here. Probably should have brought a wrench, that's alright. Just disable that. And right here I'm going to want a hopper. I think I may need to break that, place it again. Well, let's give that a shot. So I'm going to have to grab my wrench real quick. Be right back over there. Let's go grab it real quick. There it is. Silly Minecraft mechanics. Oh, that's rotating the hopper, which I didn't want to do. How about this? Up, we'll tell it to do in out. And then this guy, wow. To the south, we're going to disable it. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So this is going to be a pretty nifty little thing. Get some of this coal out of here to demonstrate. And once that goes in the hopper, provided the hopper is spinning the right way, of course, there we go. Now see, the problem though is going to be that eventually we're going to have too much of this red mana fall out. And it is going to just sit there. And for those of you that don't know, items that are sitting just out in the world only have about 5 minutes before they just completely disappear. And I don't really want to have that happen to my red coal because it's worth quite a bit as a fuel source. So once these endo flames pick up all that they can take, that one's just going to sit there for a while. So basically, to avoid this, there we go. And see, basically what this is doing, when it hits the pressure plate, it's sending a signal through this redstone conduit to the hopper saying, don't let any more out. So that's going to keep me from wasting it somewhat, but we can actually make this better. Let's see. What I'm going to want to do is craft a flower from Britannia called a hopper hawk. Here it is. And we will need 2 gray petals, a mystical light gray petal, a rune of air, and a redstone root. And I think we may already have a rune of air, which we do. And I've got one of these redstone roots already. Those were fairly easy to craft. To get a redstone root, you just take some shears and cut down some grass, and then take the grass and combine it with a piece of redstone, and voila, there is your redstone root. So let's see, we'll need that. Move that up for now. And I'm going to need, let's see, 2 of those, 2 of those. Come over and oh, those are both light gray. What I need is a gray. That one. Let's grow a couple more of these real quick. A little bit of this bone meal. There's the shears. There we are, right back on track. Let's go take a nap so I don't end up dying. And those of you that have been watching know that I will die. Not afraid to do it. So we should be able, now that I actually have all the things that we need, be able to petal apothecary this real quick. Well, that wasn't very nice. We should be able to just drop this stuff in. And there's our hopper hawk. And so what I'm going to want to do also really quickly, I almost forgot about this part, and this is kind of important too. We're going to want to craft a little item frame. As some of you may have seen, I've got some item frames hanging around my base. They're real easy to craft. Well, I'm here, I may as well put that wrench back up. And I'm also going to grab my, not the hoe, but the key, because I'm going to want to fix some of those drawers out there. But let's get ourselves an item frame. This is one of those items that I almost never teach the grid to make because it just sticks around a piece of leather. Super easy to make. It's like I'll need to round up some more leather in a little while though. Another chore to do between episodes. Now, before I get too far, should have some red coal. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be a problem. We'll let him be for now. I'm going to put an item frame on this hopper. You can do that by shift right clicking. If you just try to right click on the hopper, it's going to open the inventory. So if you want to hang something or put something on it, you'll need to hold down shift while you're doing that. And I'm just going to put a piece of red coal there, because what the hopper hawk does is it picks up items that are just laying in the world and places it into any adjacent inventory. Now the problem with that is the hopper hawk will pick up anything that happens to get dropped. So if a creeper comes by and happens to blow up a little bit of this or some grass or something, I'm going to end up with a bunch of stuff in here that I don't want. And then there is one other little trick we're going to do, just to make sure that the hopper hawk is giving these guys a chance to pick up their food. I'm going to put a lever behind this open crate. And what that's going to do is anything that this open crate drops will have 10 seconds before this guy can pick it up. So let's give it a shot. Let's go ahead and grab all the rest of this red coal. And I'm going to put it in the hopper. And what we should see is these guys should start picking all this stuff up. And that's a lot of food. That's a lot of food for them. So what we should see is after they've eaten enough, the hopper hawk is going to start picking it up and putting it back in the inventory. And putting it back in this hopper's inventory. You know, I think just to speed this up a little bit, let's take some of this, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw quite a bit over there to them. There we go. Because each one of these guys should be able to pick up a piece of coal. Now there it was. Now you see those white particle effects should be indicating that the hopper hawk is picking that up. We can check that by watching the inventory in the item hopper. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So this is functioning exactly the way that I want it to. Then there's a couple other things that I'm going to want to do. I'm going to take this a step further, and I've already prepared a resonator. And just in case you guys don't remember how to make one, I'll show you the recipe for it. That's going to be a block of coal, 2 pieces of redstone, 5 iron ingots, and one of those resonating redstone crystals. That'll get you your resonator. So what I'm going to want to do, just to take this a step further, I'm going to put a resonator up there. And I'm going to put a hopper on the resonator. This way, just to show you what's going to happen, because I have got some serious plans for the automating of that red coal. Because what I discovered was, in addition to using coal, I can also make it with red coal. And you may notice that I've got a few more machines, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. I'm going to come over here and cook up this piece of charcoal real quick. The way that I have this envisioned, I should be able to pipe stuff right into the resonator, like wood, to make the red coal. And this hopper hawk should continue to pick up the red coal that I've already got down there. It doesn't look like the resonator wants to let me hopper stuff out of it, isn't that? Oh, it did. It did let me do it. Okay. Maybe I just didn't give it enough time. I thought that's what would happen. So that is going to work. It may have needed a second. I'm not sure why. But that should be working now. Just to test it, just to make sure I'm not going crazy. I'm going to grab a little bit of actual coal so I don't have to wait for it to cook. And let's just grab a couple stacks, because this is going to keep this stuff cooking for a little while I can get the rest of this automation set up. Because this is actually going to just be one piece of what's going to end up being at least 2, maybe 3 different pieces. Because I'm going to need to automate a couple of other things to get this completely automated the way that I want it to be. So hopefully what we'll see is red coal being produced and then sucked into that hopper. And yes, that looks like exactly what's happening. And that, if we grab our wand, what we should see is some pretty crazy mana production going on. Yeah, that is going to be nice. Because there's a bunch of other tools I'm going to want to get. Like I'll be able to put another mana spreader on here. And let me just see if I can bring up some of the cool stuff. I may need to look at it in the, there's what I want, a mana distributor. And that's going to be some, you know what, I think we can get this set up right now. Let's go ahead and get this part of it set up. So is that more living wood? Those blocks are cool. Okay. Oh, mana ingots. Should have a couple of those. There we go. So if I read that right, I should be able to, was it living rock or living wood? It was living rock. We'll need 6 pieces of living rock. There's our mana distributor. And I'm going to need to run and grab a piece of gold real quick. Did not actually plan on doing this right this second, but I'm pretty sure I've got all the stuff to do it. And I want to start collecting as much mana as I can. We're also going to want another mana spreader. I believe it's this guy. Yep. We'll need 1 petal. There's our mana spreader. And the way this is going to work, if you can see I have this mana spreader here going into our runic altar. I'm going to do something very similar right here, except I'm going to want this going into the mana distributor. And let's go ahead and harvest this living rock real quick, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it. I'm going to try to make 3 more of the mana pools, which I believe were just like so. Yes. That should have given me my 3. Need to eat a little bit. Man, all this running around makes you tired, doesn't it? And let's go take another nap. Sure does get really dark in this pack, doesn't it? Really dark, really quick. And thankfully it looks like that spider's gone. I didn't think I was going to be able to deal with him. So basically what I'm going to want to do now is have our mana pools around it like so. And you can see they're already filling up. And I'm going to want a lot of mana to do a lot of things. So you can see that those are already filling up. And that's going to be pretty nifty. So I'm going to let this stuff cook up for a while. Because what I need to do now, what I've been meaning to do is show this to you guys. This is the block that I use to clear large amounts of land. Normally I would build, like an extra capacitor to haul around with it, but since I've already got power conduits run out here, I just kind of popped one down right next to this guy. And basically what I did was I made one of these shape cards, but let's show you how to make the builder. There it is, builder block from RF Tools. Some bricks, some redstone, an ender pearl, one of these machine frames, which I believe I've shown you how to make, iron, gold nuggets, and some lapis is usually how I make it. I put that together in a crafting table. That gets you your building block. You will also need a lever, which you can see I have to turn it on and off with. And then the last piece was the shape card, which in this case for me is a void. But there's quite a few different shape cards. The one we're interested in was the void card. That needs a shape card, just a blank one, which is paper, more bricks, piece of iron, some redstone. And then you take that shape card, combine it with some black dye, which I usually use in ink sacks, a little bit of obsidian, and that gets you your shape card. And what you'll want to do is shift right click on the builder with the void card in your hand. And I want to clear out this little bit. I've actually been saving this little bit just to show you guys how this works. And what I usually do is I'll take either a stack of cobble or maybe a stack of redstone. There we go. I did select the right one. And I think what I'm going to do is clear it out to about here. So I'll take either cobblestone or dirt if that's what I have handy. I've even used gravel in the past because that was all I had handy at the time. And I basically want to make this little pillar taller than everything else in the area that I want to have removed. And then you just shift right click on that, new settings copied. And you can, with an open hand, go back into the inventory or go back into the user interface here. With it in your hand, though, you can just right click on it and it will automatically install it. You flip the switch and voila. As long as that thing is powered, with enough power, it can hold like 1,000,000 RF, I think, which is a ridiculously large number. And you see how quickly it was able to clear it. Now, if it doesn't have quite enough power, then you're not going to be able to clear it that fast. It'll clear quite a bit slower, as a matter of fact, if it's not properly powered. So if you do want to use the builder block, make sure that it's properly powered. All right. So what we're going to want to do, or at least what I'm going to do now, since we are getting closer to the wrapping up point, is I want to talk a little bit about the machines that you saw me make, or that you saw over here that you didn't get to see me craft on camera. One of which is a crusher. That's from Actually Additions. The sag mill grinds quite a bit of stuff, but there are a few things that it doesn't crush. And I also needed one more crushing machine because I had used all of my available item filter slots. So I needed one more kind of a crushing machine anyway. And so I decided to go with the crusher from Actually Additions. It was pretty easy to make. Any cobblestone, flint, an iron casing, which is just that black quartz, some sticks, and some iron. A little bit of that redstonia crystal, and some of these basic coils. Again, just some black quartz and some redstonia crystal. Real simple to make that. And that gives us our crusher. And then the other machine that you see over here is a soul binder. Now, to make the soul binder, I actually had to make another machine first, which is this slice and splice. The slice and splice is going to take any skull, which you should be getting if you're out there killing your skeletons and zombies. You should have plenty of those. Solarium, which is just some soul sand and gold and an alloy smelter. Some shears, an iron axe, and one of the Ender IO machine chassis, which is a basic capacitor, which is copper ingot with 4 gold nuggets and 2 pieces of redstone. And then the machine chassis is just some iron bars and some iron around the basic capacitor. And that gives you your slice and splice. Now, the tricky part to making the soul binder, if you look up the recipe for the soul binder, this is why I needed the slice and splice, by the way. What was I thinking of? I guess I didn't need that. I could have sworn, though, that I needed... That was weird. Let me look that up again. Oh, maybe not. I must have been thinking of the other item I have already built. This is what I actually built the slice and splice for, is this farming station. And I've already built this. I have not set it up yet. This is what's going to let me further automate our little setup over there in the Britannia. The tricky part for this is actually the Z-Logic controller. You have to have the slice and splice to make this. There's a couple of other machines that are going to require a Z-Logic controller. So we also need those for the advanced item filters, crafters, which we will be using quite a few of those. A powered spawner, which I'm probably actually going to be making one of these in the next couple of episodes. And then the farming station, of course. Now, the farming station is going to be super awesome. And I'm probably going to set this up between this episode and the next one. Because over here, if you guys remember, I have a little tree farm. And what I'm going to want to do is, using my Ender farming station, my Ender IO farming station, I'm going to automate the production of wood. So what I'm going to be doing is sending some of that wood to be turned into charcoal, and then I will have that charcoal automatically deposited into this system over here. So I'll have automated wood production. Some of that wood will get directed into a furnace to get turned into charcoal, and then that charcoal will get sent over here. And then this system of mana production will be completely automated. So I will not have to continually be turning stuff into red coal. I won't have to continually worry about making charcoal or finding coal. It's just something I don't really... It takes a lot of time, to mine. So the less time I have to spend mining, the better, because that gives me more time to build more things and to automate more things. But that should all be set up by the next episode. That is my plan. So hopefully when we come back in the next episode, this tree farm will be automated. Now, what I don't know for sure is if I'm going to need to upgrade my power system, because the Ender Farmer does require a pretty decent amount of power. There's a pretty significant power spike when it harvests the trees, and so I'm going to want to make sure that I've got enough power for that. So we may need to upgrade our power system. So that's something I'll find out. So the next episode may be showing you guys how to complete the automation of the mana production, or I may need to show you guys how to upgrade the power system that we have. So I will find out when this episode is over. I'll start working on laying all the groundwork for automating the tree production, and that's when I will find out if I'm going to need to upgrade the power. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the episode. I hope you learned something that will be useful for you. Hope you're enjoying the series. Be sure to leave a like if you are, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to be notified of future videos. Thanks for stopping by today, guys, and take care.